So there's been another shooting, which I'm sure some of you already know about, but this, just recently happened. Took place on January 8th. And the guy killed 5 people and injured 12 others. But what was interesting about this was, of course, the fact that the targets were political identities. There was a congresswoman and a judge and a few other people. I don't really know exactly who they are. But it definitely seems politically motivated. The congresswoman who died was a Democrat. But when I'm reading about this guy, and the shooter's name is, let's take a look here, Jared Lee Loughner, or Loughner, whatever. And he was 22 years old. Apparently he had a MySpace page, which they reactivated. He deactivated it, and then they reactivated it. And he had a YouTube channel as well, which I checked out briefly. And on his YouTube channel, he wasn't appearing in any of the videos, and I'll probably link to it so you can check it out if you want to. But it's just like text talking about stuff like mind control. I didn't really check it in depth, but it seems that one of his feelings, or one of the things that he was irritated with, angry with, was the fact that he believed that the American government was employing mind control and spreading rhetoric and things like that, which unfortunately is true. There is way too much rhetoric going on in the political arena, but it kind of comes with the territory. I mean, how do you not have that? But anyway, I really wanted to figure out what his motive was, because right now he's not saying anything. He's invoking his right to not incriminate himself, which is protected by the Fifth Amendment, if I'm remembering that correctly. But he did say something. He said, what did he say? Okay. Well, he was, I'm having trouble finding it, but he was railing against how people in this country were spreading rhetoric and were being vitriolic about it. That's his words. Apparently the guy was shooting like crazy, and he only stopped because he ran out of bullets, which is kind of strange because, I mean, okay, he did injure 12 people and he killed 5, so he definitely was heavily armed. He must have been carrying sufficient ammunition, but I'm surprised that he didn't kill himself. Usually in a school shooting, that ends in suicide, but this one did not. And I guess it makes logical sense, because this one's quite a bit different than a school shooting. In those, it has to do with like animosity against other students or your peers for feeling like they've betrayed you or hurt you in some way. Whereas this guy, I don't think he had a personal vendetta against this congresswoman or the judge or any of those other people there. I think it was definitely a political thing. He was trying to get a message out and get his message out. Although, since he's not talking right now, I guess I'm not really sure. It's just kind of weird right now, but it's still early too. He did kill a 9-year-old girl, but I think she was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. He wasn't targeting anyone specific. He just was trying to kill anyone. And people are saying that he was unbalanced and he was mentally ill, which is possible, but I do think that this was a political thing. It might have been something like that. He did make some statements about terrorism. He actually said this in an internet post. He said, "If I define terrorist, then a terrorist is a person who employs terror or terrorism, especially as a political weapon. I define terrorist." If you call me a terrorist, then the argument to call me a terrorist is an ad hominem. You call me a terrorist. So it sounds like he's trying to make an argument with his attack. Possibly. You know, I don't know for certain. I'm just speculating. I don't think the same types of problems which plagued Tony 48219 or Sung-Wee Cho are in place here. I don't believe that is the case with this guy, Jared Lee. You know, with them it was mostly about their inability to form interpersonal relations with the opposite sex. Whereas this guy, it seems very clear that it's about his political feelings and his stance on the political arena. Yeah, it's still pretty early right now, so you know, that's all I can say about that, really. I wish I could find what he did make some kind of statement. I'm just having trouble finding it. Okay, let me find it. Okay, warrants. It may have been a mental issue. I just didn't know the motive for self-incrimination. He was not going around. The suspect was trying to reload his gun. And then he was tackled to the ground. Pinned him to the ground. He was ready for war, killing everybody. Married 96 victims. Did not state a motive for the example. But, okay, he suggested that vitriolic rhetoric in political debates could have deadly consequences. When you look at unbalanced people, how they respond to the vitriol that comes out of certain mouths and tearing down the government, the anger, the hatred, the bigotry that goes on in this country is getting outrageous. Unfortunately, Arizona, I think, has become sort of the capital, he said. We've become the mecca for prejudice and bigotry. What kind of bigotry? What kind of prejudice, though? He's not being specific here, so... You know, people need to wait a little bit until we get all the facts about this, and then we can actually figure out why he may have done it. I don't think this is the last video I'm going to make about this. I definitely want to figure out why he decided to kill these people, which seems to me as very random. But to dismiss it as just a mental issue, I think that would be wrong to do. To get at the heart of the problem, you have to really put yourself in the minds of a killer, really. Put yourself in that person's shoes and ask yourself, why? Why would you do this? And how would you do it? This is Enigma Hood signing off.